Hi, Ömer here. Welcome to a new episode where we're gonna build something in Mendix. Right now, there is a lot of hype going on with Google, Nano Banana, and video creation, VO, and I'm very into it. So I thought about why not do it in Mendix. So when we go to Gemini Google, here, when we click on Create Image, we can, for example, say create an image of, let's say, a man and a woman developing together an application in low-code Mendix. So, and while it's generating that, a small, let's say, story. Back then, when I was studying, I was very into technology, and I did Python programming back then. And the thing was that I did a lot of projects just for myself, like sitting here at home and building things just out of curiosity. Like my friends asked me why I'm building things which are not gonna generate value or something, or which I'm not gonna sell. But the thing is, at the end, learning something means practice, 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 and curiosity led me always to try out new things and to learn about it. So now I'm very into this whole AI content generation stuff, and I want to combine it with Mendix. So let's see what we're gonna achieve today. It takes some time, it seems like. The Nano Banana Pro, that's the newest model. Wow. Okay. Great. It created an image. So what now? Let's try to implement Nano Banana into our Mendix project. And for that, what we're going to do is let's start with the Mendix Studio Pro. I'm using the 11.4 version, and I'm going to start with a blank web app. I'm going to use this as a starting point. I can say like Mendix Nano Banana. I will disable online services for now, and then click Create App. And then Mendix will create a blank application for me. And then what's going to happen is that there are some pages already created in the first module. So first of all, I'm going to delete this first logic, which is created as an example, and the domain model. So what do we want to achieve? I want to have a gallery where I have a text widget where I input my prompt, and at the end, the image is going to show up in my gallery in my Mendix application. For that, okay, let's allow this. What we first need is an image entity, right? I will just name it Nano Banana image, and I will take generalization image, so it can handle it as a file. And then what I'm going to do is, for now, I will just click on OK. So I have the image, then I go to my home page. So in design mode, you will see it looks like this, kind of a preview of the page. Let me go to structure mode and delete this all. And what I'm going to do is here in the widget section, I have gallery widget, for example. I will put that in here, and I will say that gallery widget has a data source, and that is from the database. I'm going to take the entity which I just created, Nano Banana image. I will click here on OK, and then for now I will just click OK. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a building block here, and then maybe I can take card with image, and I'm going to put that in here, and then I will leave this. So in design mode it looks like this. Maybe we can even make the columns, let's say 3 columns, then it will look like this. And then the card title and supporting text I will leave for now. The image is right now a static one. I'm gonna take as the image source dynamic, then select the Nano Banana. Because it's inside of the gallery widget, it knows about that entity. So I select this, I select OK, OK, and then it has the Nano Banana image as a source. So now what I'm going to do is I need a text prompt widget, let's say text box, and I have to enter here my prompt. So what I can do is I can go here on the page to variables. I can call take a data type string, string, make this empty for now, and call this prompt. and then click on OK, OK. And then I can say that this label has data source value is the page parameter variable, the prompt. I will select this and click on OK. Then I will also disable to show the label and just have this. And when my prompt is like entered, then I want to have a button which generates me the image. So I will just take a button for now here like this, and then I will call this generate. Okay, let's check in design mode. It looks like this. We can make it a little cleaner. Let's make a layout grid like 9.3. Put that prompt here, the generate button here, and then we have this. So let's click on run. And I'm showing you with that also how I'm usually starting a project, first creating the structure, how it should look like, and then putting the logic one by one onto it. And when the app started, we will check how it looks like. So now the app is running, let's view. And we have here the home page, we have here the text box for the prompt, we have the generate button which doesn't do anything, and we don't have any images yet. What we also can do is we can go in here, and in the gallery there is an empty message. We can say custom, and then we could put here, let's see if there's a nice building block for this. Let's just take, let's just no image just created yet. Let's just do this, and then maybe make text heading 3 or something. How does that look like? No image just created yet. Okay, and then maybe we can even center it. I'm not the best when it comes to styling. How do we center stuff here? Alignment like this. Yeah, worked. Okay, and then now, what do we need? We need the prompt to generate an image. So let's go in here, edit on click action, and say call a microflow. And then we're gonna go in here and say ACT Nano Banana image, create. We will give it the prompt. Say OK, OK. And then when I go into that microflow, which appears here now, I have my prompt. And then I need to make a REST call. So for that, let's create a new module, call it Nano Banana API. Click on OK. And then here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add other and then consumed REST service. I can, what was the abbreviation for that? I'm not sure anymore what was that, but I think COS, was it COS? And then I can say Nano Banana API, okay. And then it will create this REST service. The REST request, I can rename this and say image generation, okay. Then I will go in here and say post. I already have here somewhere, I asked Gemini actually for the API. I'm just gonna take this, put here that API. And when I do this, I think, can I already send a request? No, I can't because I need the API key. So I will add here a parameter and call this API key. I think that was it just key or API key? It was just key. I will take my API key here. So how you usually create an API key is you go to AIstudio.google.com, and then here you have get API key, and then here you can create a new API key and then copy it. I already have one, and of course I'm going to delete it later, and then I can add it here. So let me copy this, put it in here, and then I need headers. That's already fine. At the parameter, I need the, what do I need? Let's check. I don't need more parameters, but I need a JSON body. So this here. So what I'm gonna do is, let's delete this one. Let's go to the body, and I will say use as template, add parameters. So when I do this, what happens is, usually that would be the prompt, And what I can do is I can go here to parameters and say prompt and go in body and then be like this. And with that, I can use the parameter in here for the body. And let's say, for example, create an image of a potato. How do you write potato actually? Let's send. What happens? Oh yeah, we are getting a response, and here in the data in base 64 is my image. So I'm going to go ahead and say response structure create entity, and with that it will create for me in the domain model the response structure. And what I can now go and do is here, let me go in here and say create, no, not create, REST, send the REST request. And then here I can select the REST which I just created here. My prompt is here, the default value which I gave there. I can change this to my prompt parameter, which is basically this one here. I'm using it here. And the API key, how you would do that actually is you would go in here and create a constant. That's basically the best practice. There are also different ways of doing it, but then let me put my API key, oh no, here, let me take this. Let me put it in here, okay. And then I go back to my service. I will actually create this default value. I will delete this and then I will say here yes. And then go back to my microflow. And then here I'm gonna use my constant API key. And usually what you would actually do is constant API key. Is the best practice for the naming. And then I get a response. So let's check if that is gonna work. Let's make a breakpoint here. Let's run this. So let's enable the breakpoint and then go in here and say create an image of a banana, for example. Generate. When we go in here, I can see my prompt. The parameter has that input. Then let's see if that is gonna be successful. When I click on step into, it takes a while until it generates. And yeah, I got a response. And I got my image probably somewhere in the association, because what I'm getting back is the is this root entity with all these associations on objects assigned to it. So what I need to do is retrieve, let's just say retrieve, wait a second, here by association. Ah yeah, the candidate is correct. And then I will iterate through the candidate list. And in that candidate list, so I'm right now here, then I'm getting to the candidate, and here is my data in the part. So I'm gonna go back in here and then retrieve a list of part. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I'm gonna take the head of list of part, not the head actually, let's do it differently. I'm gonna filter the part list. I'm gonna filter it by data, which is equals string, not equals. I will take filter by expression, and I'm gonna take part list, and then let's even do find by expression, part list, and then say where the current object data is unequal empty, and trim. So I'm going to check also if it's an empty string, current object data unequal this. Then I'm going to get my part list found, part found, and then if that check if part found exists. If it exists, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a variable, string variable, which is gonna be my base64 image. And this is empty right now. And if I find something, then I'm going to change that base64 image variable, and I will set it to part found data. Okay. Let's also, let's also make this a little nicer, like this. Okay. And then if that actually happened, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break the flow, the loop. You can say break event. Okay. And when I break the event, I have the base64 code here. And that one I'm now gonna change to a file, like decode. Decode. Oh, I need the community comments for that. So we go to marketplace. And then we go here and take the community comments module from the marketplace. It has plenty of nice, let's say, logic in it, which we can use. We go back to the crate. And now when I go in here in the community comments in files, probably, I have this base64 decode. And I will go in here, take the image, and then the target file. So I will create here a file, a Nano Banana image object, and I will say that base64 here, create basically, that's the target file where to put the image to. I don't need the return type. Okay. Then I will have this. And what I even can do is when creating the Nano Banana image, I can give it a name which can be the root, the response, and then the response ID plus, I will make it PNG. I think the return is PNG of the files. And then click here and OK. Then I have the image, it has the base64. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna commit now that image. And when this is committed, then it should actually appear. Let's check. Let me make this a little cleaner. Zoom in. I think there's this. So, okay, and then generating that will produce this. Let's run. And as you might realize, I'm using the Gemini 2.5 Flash model. I wanted to use the Nano Banana Pro, but right now it's basically overloaded. I get the response, but we can check in a bit. So let's go in here and say, create an image of a, let's say, banana in Lego bricks style. Click here on generate. Now I have my debugger here still. I will remove this. Click continue, and then, yeah, it will take some time until it generates this. What we actually can do even is when it will create this before the response, we can actually create this before the response. And what we even can do is we can basically want that the image generation happens in the back end. So in the back, like while the user can navigate still, we can take this whole part, make sub microflow, say image generate, and then we have this part. So if we first create the Nano Banana image, okay, we don't have to respond the name thing here right now. We create the image. Then this one, the generation, the actual one, we can put it in a task queue. So it will run in the back. And then we can say new task queue image generation. Okay, click on OK. So what's going to happen is we create the image. We then go to the task generation here. Let's go in here. We will give it the Nano Banana image, which we just created. Then we can put here change Nano Banana image to then put back the name. Name was basically the root response ID plus PNG. Okay, okay. And in the meantime, let's quickly check this. Oops, run. Oh yeah, it created here an image. But let's go back and make this a little bit more user-friendly. So we actually, I think we don't need to send back the root here. Just make update to nothing. It creates this, and then this will run in the, so when I click on this, it will create my image. What we can even do is we can put the name to in creation, put like this, okay, okay. And then the commit, do we need to commit here? Yes, I want to have that file. So let's click on run, save. So what will happen now is I click on generate. It will create already the image object, which is empty right now. It will then call the API from Nano Banana to create the image. And in the meantime, I will have an empty object. So we will see it here when I, for example, say create an image of a chocolate bar, and I click on generate. Oh, an error. Let's see why. The error is only committed objects can be passed to the background tasks. So I have to click here on commit already and delete this. So because I'm passing that to this task queue, I have to commit it before that. So let's run this again. App is running. So let's go in here, create an image of a chocolate bar in Mendix style, and click on generate. And then it should have, I need to also refresh in client. Let's click on refresh in client and then click on here again. Let's go back. And there is a chocolate bar. Create an image of the Mendix Rotterdam building, for example. Click on generate. And now we have that what I wanted to achieve, that the card is already created, but not with an image filled in yet. So we go back to the overview page. Let's first close here everything. Let's go back here to the home page, and let's say here the card title. We'll put the card title to the name of the file. Okay. And then put here this placeholder 1. And then the supporting text, what we even can do is we can maybe save the prompt there. So let's call this prompt. Let's go in here, and when we create that image, we can also save the prompt in there. The prompt is then my parameter prompt. Okay, okay. And then I can go back to my home page and say the supporting text is from that Nano Banana image entity, the prompt. Click on OK. Make here also again this placeholder 1. Okay, okay. And then what I can do is let's run this. Okay, and let's go in here, create an image of, let's say, what can we say, a light bulb in green, and click on generate. Now here in creation, create an image of light bulb in green. We have that. And now, of course, what would be great is if it reloads on its own. There are ways to do this, but for us now, to make it easier, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put here a refresh button. So what I can do is make this to a container, put the refresh, and then what we can do is we can say here on click, call a nano flow we can do, I guess, and then say image nano banana image refresh, and then click on OK. then in that logic, what we can just do is, what was it again? It's refresh. Actually, I would say refresh object, but somehow it doesn't work how I expected it to work. But we just take the entity, Nano Banana image entity. We don't need this then here, and then click on here. And then let's start. So it's running. So create an image of an airplane in Lego bricks. Then click here on generate. And now we see here the generation. Here I have to refresh. I can click here. It's still, and now after I clicked, it reloaded, refreshed, and the airplane, a Swiss one, is created. But I don't want the refresh button to appear anymore here after it was created. So I will go in here and then will put the visibility. I will say show that refresh only based on a value of the has contents. Like if the image has a content, then don't show. If it doesn't have a content, show the refresh button. And then maybe we can also give it some styling. Let's go to properties. Let's make card style. How does that look then? Okay, cool. Then background color, secondary. Okay, yeah, I'm not the best in design. And then, yeah, that's fine for now. And then click on here. Then we have this. What I also want to do is I don't want to always click the generate button. So here in comments on the text widget, what you can do is in the event, sorry, on enter press, when I press enter, it can call that microflow. So now let's run this again. Let's go in here and say create an image of, no, I don't have ideas anymore. Apple in Lego bricks, and then enter. Now it created here this, and then it's in creation. When I click refresh, not created yet, refresh, and it created it. And we have the generate button, we have the images, and yeah, super cool. I think that's nice like this, right? It's fun. And we can continue, of course, with doing Nano Banana Pro. Let's try this actually, if that works. Let me go to the Nano Banana API. I have here the model, right? What I can do is, instead of that it takes this model here, I will put this as a parameter. I can put here model, and then I can put the model for now here. I can create a constant. I don't have to create a constant. I can create an enumeration, and then I can call it a model, and then const model, and then I can say this one, or what was the one for Gemini Pro image is this. So I can take this one, okay, and then click on OK. And then when I go to my domain model here, I can even put that model in here. Can say model, can say enumeration, can take this one to also save it. Then go to my home page, click in variable, say it's an enumeration, it's this constant model, default value we keep empty. Then we can say here model, and then OK. Then we can make here another column, make this auto 2, and then we will reduce this one to 3, 5, 7, like this. And here we can then take the variable model. Actually, let's turn it to a drop down, convert to a drop down. I can also disable the label, model, generate, and then we go to errors. What does it say? We have to give it the model here. So for this one, the model when we create an image, we can pass the model here as the enumeration, the model, okay. We can also save it in the image entity, just to have that information, which model it was created with. Okay, okay. Click here on OK, and then in that image generation, we can also pass that model enumeration, select, and constant model, then go in here and say, instead of hard-coded, we take the model, and then we take, okay, since it's an enumeration, we take the caption of it. Okay, okay. So, and then what we also, of course, need is an error handling. If that thing doesn't work, let's say custom with rollback. So what we're gonna do is, if that thing somehow fails, what we can do is first change the Nano Banana image to here the name generation failed, like this. We can also copy this, and then we can also log our issue, log error. We can say Google Nano Banana API, and then we can just put here the latest HTTP response, and then the content, and we could even put more stuff, but I will just keep it with this. And then we have that here. So what kind of errors do I have here? Because of when I click here on enter in events, now it wants me to update this one. It automatically updated, that's gone. In the generate button here, edit, it's also automatically updated, gone. Then here I have to update the parameters, gone. It actually does it automatically. What was this? I don't need that anymore. That was for testing. And then we have it like this. So let's see if it will work with the Nano Banana 3 API. And if not, we're gonna see it in the logs. What's the issue? Probably overloaded. Let's try this again. Generate a Mendix logo out of Lego bricks. Then select the model, generate. Oh, it generated here something. Was that, which logo was it? Ah, yeah, it worked. Nice. So cool. That looks actually very nice. So if you want to see more about Mendix AI and different tutorials, feel free to subscribe and comment below if you want to see more advanced, if you should continue with this application. We can include many more features, configurations like aspect ratio and everything, and then build together this Google Gemini AI content app. If you would like to see more or other topics, leave a comment below and see you next time.